I rolled up in a Corvette. You ready for this? So I back up the car. And this is all Emmy's idea, remind you. I'm furious right now. Before we start the stream, I want you guys to look at my hair. All right, chill. I copied Corey, I know. Stop, it's still wet. Just calm down. I knew you were gonna say, bro, shut up. It's still wet. It doesn't look bad. I'm not a little
Welcome
church
back,
boy.
Lord Wyatt.
Calm down. I knew you guys were
Yo.
gonna stop saying shit. It'll be good. I promise you. All right, at least it's better than a mullet. Can we agree? It's not a mom's haircut. What mom looks like this, okay? Like, what you know what? Don't answer any of these questions, all right? You know what's crazy? It was like the first day I really enjoyed vacation, but then like the second and third day, I would like say a joke or something and I would like turn around and be like, chat, and then you wouldn't be there. And then Brendan would say some edgy shit. I'm like, all right, Brendan, calm down. But it was a good time. I'm gonna be real with you. I know a lot of you guys like to talk about how you think Jersey's this massive shithole, and you probably get that from me because I talk a lot about how Jersey's this massive shithole. Chat, it's beautiful. I'm sorry, compared to Texas, it's beautiful. The landscapes are beautiful. The greenery is so nice. The beaches were gorgeous. The only problem I had with my entire break was one thing. So I'm on break, right? I get off the plane. Brendan's there. My boys from home are there. Chat, I hung out with my best friends from home. All 6 of them. That hasn't happened in 7 years where we all got to hang out. I felt really bad though, because Emmy came with us. And literally Emmy sat there for an entire day pretty much, listening to us talk about old stories. So she literally was just kind of like on her phone the entire time, bored as shit. But we kept asking her what she thought about the fact that like John Smith is married. So she was like, stop talking to me. That was horrible. Halt. Before you go anywhere, please notice that you do not have notifications on this channel. And although 11% of you guys do, just know that 89% of you guys do not. So before you go anywhere, can you please put on notifications? We will give you 3 seconds. Thank you. I didn't watch Shit Camp. I know you're gonna be like, that's a cap. I honestly couldn't. I tried to, but it was just so painful with Ludwig on stream. No, it's because I had no internet. When I was home at like 3 in the morning, I would tune it in. That was pretty much it. You watched Austin's? I did watch Austin's. But to be fair, he said, yo, host me, so I did. But dude, chat, Jersey was absolutely amazing. I needed it. Not necessarily for mental health. I honestly think mentally, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my Twitch history. Since Camp Canute, I'm in the best mental health. I feel fucking fantastic. My aura has never been pinker. I feel, you know, glorious and exalted. I feel great. The reason why I had to go home, chat, was very simple. I had to see my mom. I had to see my family, but I have an interesting story. Okay, I went home and the first thing I did is I saw my friends, right? That was awesome. You guys have friends probably from like 7, 8 years ago. Think about like the friends that you played Call of Duty with or World of Warcraft with. Those friends, like your OG friends, like from 10 years ago. We really talked about how edgy we really were back 10 years ago. It was pretty fucking bad. I'm not gonna talk about that because I'll get banned. I used to say the R word, apparently. I didn't even know that. That was a thing. I'm a new guy, so I didn't really know that I even did that. They reminded me. Didn't want that. I'll be real with you, chat. We get to Wildwood, and I'm like, yo, let's go out to bars and clubs. Let's do some shit. I literally planned my vacation based on Labor Day weekend. And I'm like, bro, surely there's a lot of people that go down the shore Labor Day weekend, right? Like a bunch of kids and teenagers and like, you know, I guess like more people my age. Did I really just say teenagers are my age? Holy fuck, I gotta grow up. You know, 20-year-olds at bars and shit. I was like, okay, there's gotta be some people, right? First of all, I rolled up in a Corvette. You ready for this? So I'm on Poro, right? And I'm trying to find a car for myself, and I'm at the fucking airport. And there's no cars that are available for the next day. I'm going through all these cars, and I'm like, I see one car, and it's a 2023 brand new Corvette. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? The crazy part was, it was $180 a day when other Corvettes and other of these nice cars were 600 bucks. So I'm like, this is too good to be true. It's gotta be a scam. So I got the car. And Emmy was fucking going nuts because this is her dream car. It shows up at my house. We get the car, and it really is a brand new 2023 Corvette. Mint condition, no problems, not a scratch on it. And I'm like, how the fuck did I just get this car for $500 cheaper than every other Corvette advertised on Toro? So I'm driving this thing down to Wildwood, right? And we have a hotel. And while we're gonna go to our hotel, Motel Holiday Inn, there is a, how do I describe this? There's places at the park around the hotel. right? This is the hotel that we were all staying at. Now, I was kind of afraid to leave it out in the middle of nowhere because I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I don't want like some drunk dumbass to come over and like touch the car and scratch it. And I know Wildwood, and I know there's like people that will do that kind of stuff because I did that when I was 12. So there was parking spots all around the hotel. And then there was a drop back here. And what this was you got to go down a slope and into the garage in the basement. And I'm like, I don't really want to leave this car outside. I'd rather just put it in the basement. I'm with Emmy right now, right? Let's go into the basement. Let's park the fucking car because I don't want to deal with this. She's like, all right, it makes sense. So I'm driving the car and we're about to go down the slope. All you hear is this noise. And I'm like, yo, that was pretty much my reaction. But imagine I'm yelling and screaming at the top of my lungs, furious at myself for doing that. Like, what do you do in this situation when you're parked here and you either can go backwards and go out, or you go down and try to fix it? So I tried to fix it. I tried to just go in, and I was hoping that it would not have another problem. We go down the slope a little bit. I'm fucking furious right now. You know, like, ball of rage you feel sometimes, chat? Like, I felt that. I felt like I was outside of a club in Jersey, and I was about to fight some kid. I was furious. It's all scratched. The whole bottom is scratched like crazy. The part in the front, I don't know what it's called anymore because I can't even tell what it is. Completely destroyed. I'm in the basement now. This is how the basement looks. So I go down, and here's the car, right? This is pretty much what the car looked like after I was done with it. Brand new 2023 Corvette. Emmy is trying to figure out what to do. She's like, okay, do I go up and try to help Miz and like try to like make this go, or does Miz go backward? We thought of this idea, and you notice how this one's like way longer of a slope? We are not going to go up this way. Instead, we're going to go backwards because we thought that the back of the car makes the most sense to go out first because the back of the car is higher up. So I back up the car, and this is all Emmy's idea, remind you. And all you hear when I back it up is, now the bumper is fucked up. And keep in mind, this is a brand new 2023 Corvette that I got on Toro. I drove this thing 230 miles, and I'm already in a basement in Wildwood at a shitty fucking hotel that looks like Luigi's Mansion, and I have a Corvette in the bottom of it, and I'm destroying both sides of it in one day. One day. So, I hit it, and I'm like, Emmy, at this point, it's either we get this thing towed out of here or I just rip it and we see what happens. And she's like, go for it. So I just ripped it. All you hear the whole time up is I get out, I'm furious. There's a guy who works at the front desk who's just staring at me. He's like, what the actual fuck are you two kids doing? I didn't know what to do. I felt like a ball of anger. I was furious. The only thing I could do at this time was park the fucking car in the middle of where I went. Now, I'm not used to these like low rider cars. My R8 is actually 1.5 inches taller or raised more than the Corvette, and I've never bottomed out with my R8 in my entire life. So this is the hotel. There's one parking spot right here, and this is a very normal parking spot. This is the kind of parking spot that's at like a 7-Eleven, right? And I'm so mad. I just had a horrible time down there. I'm glad we got out, but the whole bottom is scratched. The guy took pictures of the entire car and is furious at me. He's actually messaging me on Toro right now. I finally get out, and I'm like, I'm just going to park this fucking car, and I'm going to go to the beach and enjoy my life. Somehow, I'm going up right here. We did not use that car for the next 5 days, chat. I let a Corvette that I was renting for like $300 a day sit there for 6 days straight because I knew the second I'm taking that car out of that lot, it's gonna go and it's not my fault. Do not say I'm a bad driver. I have had the worst luck in the world when it comes to cars lately. I ruined Emmy's car. I drove Slick's car. It's the gas is destroyed. The tank is ruined. What else did I do? Simply's car destroyed. Do not let me drive your car, okay? Do not pass go. Do not let me drive your fucking car. I completely bottomed out the shit out of this. The Corvette is completely scratched on the bottom. And I left it there. Because guess what? When we left to go back home, that's all you heard when we got out of the hotel. Was, like, it was miserable. So the guy messaged me on Toro, and I'm like freaking out the entire ride home. I'm like, Emmy, this guy's gonna charge me $15,000 for the car. I'm so concerned about how much money I'm about to spend on this thing. I'm like, I just watched a TikTok last week. I do not have the money for $15,000. I don't want to spend 15 grand on a vacation. How about that, Jet? Okay. We get home, and I park the car. My dad looks at the car, and he hates me now. I'm like, yep, this guy's gonna message me. He's gonna sue me or something. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how Toro works. He's like, hey, your dad gave me the keys to the car. I got the car back. There's 15 little dots on my screen when I'm looking at this. Now, I'm in the air, coming down from landing from the plane, so I couldn't really see what it was because I couldn't get the pictures, but I knew that he was pissed. He took 15 screenshots of the bottom of the car, and it was all scratches, marks, etc. And I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking sorry. I will pay whatever I have to for this car. I know I scratched it. Honestly, we didn't get into any accident or anything. We were literally just driving. Do you want me to show the pictures? You ready? Oh, yeah, that's the real bad one. The other one are minor. Someone said you're an idiot and stop driving. Bro, am I like too old to drive now? Is that it? Shut up. Some guy just said you learned how to drive from Mario Kart. No, I did not, all right? I could not drift like that in a Corvette. It's not my fault. It literally was not my fault. Ask Emmy. It was not my fault. So the guy messages me and he's like, hey, I just picked up your car, from your parents' house, and the entire bottom is completely destroyed and the front bumper's messed up. You essentially destroyed the car on the bottom. And I messaged him. I said, look, I'll pay any damages. I'm sorry for what I did. The guy messaged me. He's like, hey, don't worry about it. Why don't I have to worry about it? He said, whoever booked your appointment gave you the highest insurance for Toro. And whoever did that, you don't really have to worry. I'm going to go through Toro and I'll get this fixed. I understand. Have a good day. Now, who booked my appointment? Who gave me a couple $1,000s in insurance for me to drive a Corvette down to New Jersey? It was Sinek. So Sinek knew when I got the car that I am going to fuck it up, so he got me the highest insurance that I could possibly get. And he was right. The car was fucked. It was going to be probably like 10 to 15 grand in damages. He got me a really high insurance. He's going to go through Toro. He's like, don't even worry about it. I'll get it all fixed. Have a good day. I don't ever have to talk to you again. I think that's a win in my book, chat. Nah, Sinek's the best. What other stuff happened in Jersey? The water park that I drank water from, where I got the heart virus and stuff like that. That was really cool. I'll be honest with you, chat. Like, where I went was a very family-oriented place. And, like, it's kind of hard being a 27-year-old and trying to go to a water park and, like, mess around and stuff like that. But honestly, you know what I realized when I was in Jersey? Dude, kids love me. Straight up. And it's not because they saw me on TikTok and know that I'm friends with Bella Porsche. They actually fucking love me. I'm, like, hanging out with... Like, I'm at the water park and kids are, like, messing with me. This one kid came up to me who looked like fucking Pluto when he was 4 years old. Started doing this shit with his finger. And he's like... Dude, look at this. I'm double jointed. I'm like, all right, man. Like, why'd you run up 8 feet to me and say that? I think I had a much better time than those at Shit Camp. I'll be honest with you. The beach was beautiful. I love Jersey Shore Beach. It's so good. I went to Wawa. I got a hoagie. You have to do it when you go to Jersey. Got a hoagie. Got a sandwich. 3 in the morning when nothing else is open. I drove my bike alone to Wawa and I got myself some food. Great. So that's kind of like the whole trip. We're driving on our way back, right? I'm driving the Corvette, and I have an idea. Does anyone in chat, do you guys ever have a friend that you wish you've talked to or hung out with from when you were a kid, and you're like, damn, I wish I kept up with him? Did you guys ever have, when you were growing up, like, one person that their mom was essentially your second mother? I used to literally call her mom, because she was basically my second mom. Like, when I was growing up, she was always there. She'd pick me up from school. She would do everything for me. She would bring me home. She would make me food. She was my second mom. My mom would work. She was there for me, and this woman would do it all, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys have had that before. Her son was my best friend, and I stopped talking to her son like 10 years ago on a huge fight we had. We literally got into a huge fist fight outside of his house, and he was my best friend, and I never talked to him again. This is like freshman or sophomore year of high school. I never talked to the kid again. And the mom, I haven't seen her in 11 or 12 years. I don't know what I was on. I was feeling it. I literally drove up to their house alone. I knock on the door. And I haven't seen these people in over a decade. And who comes to the door? Their dog. And somehow their dog is still alive. I'm like, what the actual fuck? You're like 19 years old, dude. What the hell's going on here? The dog comes to the door. And then the mom comes. to the door. And the mom starts crying and gives me a hug. And she's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. Blah, blah, blah. Come in. She does the Italian thing. You know, I missed you so much. I wish you've come here. I heard so much about you. And then we go inside. She makes me, it's this, have you guys ever had hot dogs and, it's such a weird, sausage and peppers. I had sausage and peppers. I love sausage and peppers. I eat that shit all the time. She starts crying so much. And I didn't even know this. I kind of heard about it, but I didn't really know. She got a divorce. So I was like, my old mom basically got a divorce. I'm like, damn. And I go inside and the place is basically the same as it was. My best friend when I was a kid, who I haven't talked to yet, doesn't even know him at his own house. He's not there. His two brothers, who were basically my brothers growing up, come up to me. They start talking. We start hanging out. And we start going through photos and pictures and shit chat for like 6 hours. We hung out. We hung out for 6 hours. We just talked about stuff. It was exactly what I needed when I went to Jersey. It was exactly what I needed. There's something I need to do. I need to fix this because these guys were literally my family. I honestly want to go back to Jersey around Christmas time. I want to take them all to like a play because we used to see plays together. So I haven't seen these guys in 10, 12 years. You know, like the first day of school chat, did you guys used to have to line up and like you would have like like you would try to line up with your best friend? I did that every year with this kid. We got our yearbook and he would write F for friend or BF for best friend for everybody. And he wrote friend for everybody, like all 40 people on my list, and then he wrote BF for me. I didn't even know that when I was a kid. We were that Zoil and E-Rob mode or whatever the hell it is. Remember, keep in mind, me and this kid, we had not talked in 12 years, and we had a huge fight, which made it like, I never wanted to see him again. I hated him. And his mom is like, why don't you call him? That's exactly what she sounds like. Why don't you call him? I'm like, honestly, I don't even have his number. And she's like, you know what? You two need to make up. I'm done with this. So she FaceTimes him. Does any of your parents look at the phone like this? So this is how she FaceTimes. Hi, honey. Hey, Matt's here. He wants to talk to you. That's exactly what she did. She brings out her phone. This thing's basically an iPad. She's looking at it like this. Calls him up, and he answers. I don't even recognize him. I haven't seen him in so long. And she goes, hey, we have a special surprise for you. Come to the house. He lives like 30 minutes away. For context, I was going to call him like 5 or 6 years ago. And I never did, and I never talked to him because he apparently did really bad shit to my brother. Right? So imagine your cousin does something bad to your brother. They moved in. So they moved in with each other, my brother and my best friend. My best friend started doing a shit ton of coke, and he would have basically be inviting over a lot of different people. They'd be doing coke together. He was completely disrespectful to my brother. Like, he was just a piece of shit human being. He was severely depressed. Apparently he was suicidal. I didn't even know that part. He really kind of fell off the deep end a lot. And I didn't really want to talk to him because he's kind of a piece of shit. But I thought, you know what? That was 6 years ago. Let's just forget it. He comes over. So I hear his car out front. If you say I'm a bad driver, this guy literally drives like he's on 200cc Mario Kart, okay? You know he shows up to the house when you hear, like, he's the worst driver I've ever seen in my life still. That didn't change. And I hear him, and he comes inside, and keep in mind, he didn't know I was there. Deer in the headlights as eyes. And he just looks at me, and he starts crying. And made me cry, because I haven't seen him in 12 years. And we hugged, we went through a bunch of pictures, we talked to each other. I was there for another few hours. I was there all night. I was there pretty much the entire last day I was there. I was at this house, and I was messing around. You know, we made up, we talked to each other. I found out he's married. Yep, he's married. I'm like, what the hell is this? He's married. When he lived with my brother, he was broke. He was getting money from his parents, and he had a massive coke addiction. He was an alcoholic and all that stuff. He was horrible. And I found out, you know, he came over. I started talking to him. He has been sober for a year. He doesn't do any of that shit anymore. And he apparently just goes on runs and marathons. And he does. Like, he was skinny. He was like, he had a six-pack. I'm like, what the fuck is this transformation? And he told me, he said, yeah, I actually got more motivated and started lifting a lot more from watching you guys do Camp Canute. He told me that he's like, I know everything you do. He's like, I've been watching your shit since you started. So he knows everything. That was basically it. We cried, we hung out, we fought, we had a breakup, we kissed, we made up, we did everything. It was good. And I messaged him afterwards. I didn't really get to say it to him while I was there, because I'm kind of a pussy. But I texted him, I said, oh, look, I'm really proud of you. And he was like, you know, blah, 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 whenever you're in New Jersey, come out and hang out with me. That was basically it. But yeah, I thought you guys would like that story. I thought it was pretty good. It was a good time.